What's going on, everyone? Let's get into the final day of joint practices, day 2 between the Giants and Lions, and the final day of 2024 New York Giants Open Training Camp. And it starts with the man himself, the draft pick for the New York Giants in this year's draft, the first-round pick in Malik Nabers. Another very impressive day for the wide receiver, still looking great. Caught a deep ball that I'll throw in here, and then also got into a fight, which I'm going to talk about later. I'm going to save that for the end. He was targeted 18 times today in 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 drills at the end of practice. He caught all but one, which was a misconnection between himself and Daniel Jones that actually led up to the fight. Connor Hughes of SNY literally said he's never seen a rookie, a veteran player, anyone have the amount of impact that Malik Nabers had in training camp today. If that doesn't make you look forward to the season with Malik Nabers, I don't know what will. The connection with Daniel Jones right now looks pretty solid, and I think it will continue for the remainder of the preseason of training camps and into the season, although obviously we won't see much more of it in the preseason as they won't play. But if there's nothing that really excites you for this season for the New York Giants, and there's one thing, one person that it does, I mean, although I would say there's a few things with Brian Burns coming in and, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence's defensive line, which I'm going to get to next. If it's not anything, one thing, please be Malik Nabers, because he is a beast, and I think he's going to do a lot for this team. And you know what? If I need to eat my words later, I will, because right now he looks sensational. So I'll talk about the Giants' defensive line next. It was the same format of practice today as it was yesterday. So basically, special teams was kind of here and there. The first thing that they did was individual drills with either teams. Then they came together, did O-line, D-line one-on-ones, and then the Lions offense came with the Giants defense with the cornerbacks, and they just did they ran 4 wide receivers or tight ends, 2 on each side, and just did no defensive line, and then the offensive line, defensive line did ones. So I was able to watch one-on-ones, and wow, did Brian Burns dominate. He won every single rep of those ones. I'm going to throw some clips in of everyone in there. Kayvon went up against Penei Sewell. He lost. Not good. He got stood up. Dexter Lawrence, he was kind of even on some of the reps. He definitely won a couple of them. But then when it came to 11-on-11s, this Giants defense against the Lions offensive line was impeccable. I mean, Isaiah Simmons had an easy sack where he got to the quarterback within 2 seconds. And obviously these clips are going to be like, it wasn't a sack. Well, they literally cannot physically touch or sack the quarterback. They can tap them. That indicates a sack. So Goff might have still thrown the ball, but the Giants would have gotten a sack in real life, in real time. Burns was in there mostly all the time. Same thing with Kayvon. Same thing with Dexter Lawrence. It was a really good day for this Giants defensive line, and they showed a lot today against, by the way, one of, if not the best offensive lines in football in the Detroit Lions offensive line. So definitely keep that in mind. And then another defensive player, Nick McLeod, he had a good practice. He actually took over at cornerback too. I think Nick McLeod deserves this overall. I think he's been a better cornerback than Cordell Flott, and I think he deserves number 2 reps. We'll obviously see how that works out in the regular season, but Cordell Flott continues to trend downwards, at least I'll say that for the Giants. Okay, so now let's get to the fight with Malik Nabers. I'll roll the clip right now. Daniel Jones in red zone drills to end practice was looking for Malik Nabers. Doesn't find him in the end zone. He was guarded by Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold almost got, I wouldn't say almost got an interception on that, but it was really good lockdown coverage. And obviously those guys know each other from back in their college days, with Arnold from Alabama and Nabers from LSU. Anyway, as Nabers is walking back, he gets kind of a little handsy with Kirby Joseph, you could say. So basically, Nabers gives Joseph a little head tap, taps him on the head as he's walking back to the line. And then Joseph goes off, turns around, starts swinging at Nabers. Nabers throws back, and that starts a whole thing. At least 2 or 3 fights happen. Gunnar Olszewski got into it. Kayvon Thibodeau got into it. And it was just, practice had to end early because they couldn't get any red zone reps because so many fights were happening. They then went to special teams reps, which is, I think, when either that was when Kayvon got involved, because he was on the sideline of special teams reps. The player got tackled on the sideline, and then Kayvon got into it with the Detroit Lions. So, even more fights happened. Well, not more fights than yesterday, but fights did happen today towards the end of practice, and they had to kind of break it up and end it early. So we'll see what happens in the Giants' first preseason game, but it's going to be mostly backups, obviously, on Thursday. But what I will say at the end of today, wow, that was a crazy amount of joint practices these last 2 days with the Detroit Lions. And an overall experience on New York Giants Open Training Camp. It was super fun. And I guess this is the time where I kind of say goodbye to this, at least. I thank you so much for everyone who's been watching these videos every single day and, following us on our social medias and, kind of keeping up with the content. And thank you guys for it, because we thank you for it. Obviously, we wouldn't be putting it out if you weren't watching it. So we appreciate you watching it, liking, commenting, whatever it is. And obviously, the content doesn't stop here. I hope you stick around, because we're going to have coverage. Actually, probably have an episode out tomorrow or Thursday, recapping these practices more in full. Also talking about the preseason game on Thursday. So obviously we have a podcast, as well, the Giant Take podcast, and some of the videos go on here. And then throughout the season, we have 2 episodes a week. We have a preview episode that comes out every Thursday or Friday, and then we have a recap that comes out every Monday. The games are on Sundays, obviously. And those recap episodes come out right here on YouTube. So anyway, enough, talking about, what we do. But one more, just kind of thank you to you for, again, watching and keeping up with our content. We thank you so much. And it's been really fun covering this team throughout training camp. I guess we'll see you soon, whether it's here on YouTube or on our podcast in the next couple of days. For right now, though, thank you again so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button down below. Drop a like if you liked it. And we'll see you soon. Peace.